District, Abubakar Sadiq Ibrahim. I'm going to host in this episode the Kogi State NLC Chairman, Comrade Gabriel Amari. Thank you very much. You just won your election recently, precisely in March, and you came on board as the NLC Chairman, Kogi State Council. There are, things on your mind when you ran for that election and you were elected unopposed. You talk about improving the welfare of workers in Kogi State. Every other president of NLC or an organization pertaining to the welfare, to the civil servant, is about their welfare and the improvement. You have talked about that. We talk about what you are going to do, the method and how during your acceptance speech. You talk about, you are engaged, you have to engage the government with through diplomacy, dialogue, and what have you. You said, I said so many other things. Now you are on board. Tell us, you are on Africa this week. Tell us about how you're going to do this, and you are on board already. How do you feel?
Thank you very much. In the first place, I want to return all thanks and adoration unto my God, my Creator, and the one who designed everything about my life. Secondly, I want to appreciate the workers of Kogi State for giving us that mandate, for believing in me and my other ESCO that were elected alongside with me, for imposing that confidence in us that we are capable to lead the work of Kogi State. And I do promise that God with us will not disappoint them. Our emergence, it is ordained by God to lead the work of this state. And having been part of the system for some years before occupying this position, that necessitated my inaugural speech where I pointed out that workers' demands are numerous. Our wants and needs are endless. But my administration will not be confrontational. We will apply diplomacy. We will apply lobby. We will apply pleading to see how we can get back the demand of the workers. These are never changed from. I still stand by my words. And that is why when we hit the ground running, about 2 months and 3 weeks ago, we took over the mantle of leadership. All our approach to workers' demand and need were through dialogue. We channel all our needs, we channel all our demand through the Office of Head of Service. Mrs. Hannah Odio, who was so good to us. In fact, it's a mother. Her time is very scarce in these days. And by the grace of God, with dialogue, with pleading, with lobby, we are already succeeding. Most of the demand put before the government, even before we took over the mantle of leadership, part of them were met, such like the implementation of promotion cash backing. When the first batch were picked, others were left, we were not confrontational. We went lobbying, we went begging.
All the mindset you have when you came in, the diplomacy, dialogue, and consultations, consensus, arrangement, I was going to say, how far have you engaged the government, the civil servant, on the civil servant demands in the state? I think it's going to be very tough. You will not be here for long, and you have already, given out the approach you have engaged the government so far. Well, recently you showered a comium on your predecessor, Comrade Abubakar. When you received, what's the name of, you describe him as a guru in labor movement. Already you distinguished himself in the history of labor movement in Nigeria, based on his Kogi State. When he received Michael Amari award recently. But where I am going to is that you say you are not going to be confrontational. Sometimes governments need confrontational approach. He said some time ago he has recorded so many achievements, including the building in which we are sitting down in the NLC building in Kogi State. Tell us about, you would like to jump into your footstep, his footstep. You come from the same medical union, health unions in which he came from. Tell us about this, because there was a lot of confrontation with him when this administration came to power in 2015. He went under the ground. And he came out again, and things have been there, and you can expand on it, how great he became, and
Thanks.
you will do that.
Thank you very much. Yes. Comrade Gabriel is one of labor leader that it is very difficult to find his time in this state. The records are there for you to verify. In the first place, his emergence in the first term was unopposed. And that is the first time in the history of this state that an NLC chairman or an NLC delegate conference will be held unopposed, without rancor or crisis. And it came out unopposed. The industrial union in the state met and decided to give it to him because of his track record from Medical and Workers Union of Nigeria. It doesn't end there. He came on board 2015, and we have a change of government in 2016. For Kogi, we are all living witness of what happened between him and the government. It was rough. It was hell. When it becomes so tough, for 3 weeks he cannot lay his head in his own building. He has to run away for his dear life, including other labor leaders alongside with him. The same worker mate again. And this is becoming so tough. Why not advise our leader to apply diplomacy? That is where diplomacy set in into our trouble in the state. That diplomacy, that dialogue, that lobby brought about this edifice we are seeing today. What we are seeing today was not a result of confrontation. No, it's a fruit of dialogue, a fruit of lobby. So, that is where we believe that when you dialogue, when you plead, when you lobby, you get the best for the workers, not through crisis. If you follow our record very well, it is time it is time to apply diplomacy, lobby, begging, that we started recording some achievements for workers. You know, we don't just go into that. You study the situation. When you feel that you have been so hard, you are not getting it. You go harder, you are not getting it. And the same worker made it. Oga Chairman, please let us apply diplomacy.
Well, you came from the same health,
yes,
medical union.
Yes.
That's a quick succession of leadership coming from that place. What happened to the rest of the unions, you know, that comes together to form NLC in Kogi State? Two of you just came from the same place and how come?
There's no magic about that. Very simple. He is from the eastern flank of the state. I am from the western flank of the state. It's just pure understanding. He felt he has served for 2 terms, and by the record has put straight before the Congress, even before the election. It was agreed that the eastern flank has served for 20 years since the creation of state. The central has served once. It is only the western part of the state that have not gotten an elected chairman of NLC. And he felt that let justice, equity, and fairness prevail. That he has done 2 tenures. In the history of Kogi State, no NLC chairman served for 2 terms. In addition to 3 other people that have served from the same eastern flank, let this move to the western zone, which has not served before. That was how it got to the western zone. And in the west,
and you get the nod.
And I am from the western zone.
Okay.
The western people sat down, going by the conditions attached to the position of NLC chairman. They look around. Unanimously, they agree that I think the person who is fit to go for us and go by his antecedents from his union is this man. So this time around, we're not talking about the union is coming from, but the zone is coming from. And that is why you see that speech in the state. This is to the west. And the west said this is their preferred candidate.
You have talked about...
and that's where I came about.
You have talked about the success recorded so far in Kogi State by the Nigerian Labour Congress. One is wondering, especially in any leadership, there must be, antagonists, criticisms, and so on and so forth. You talk about success. There were areas that the predecessor was working on, like too many verifications of workers' eligibility to work in Kogi, who are eligible to work in Kogi State. You earlier talked about promotion without backing of You did. There were percentage payment of salary in local government and both in the state. It was some time when money were paid, some percentages, and I remember your producer would just go and not you, maybe from 60, they would say 80%. The rest 20% will never be paid or talked about again. And you are talking about success recorded in the state. So far, they still cry. This administration is about to go. Some people are still crying about percentage payment. Just give us the lowdown on the picture of what you are coming, what your regime is always working on that for that to be reconciled properly at this time or in the future.
Well, for now, I think I can boldly tell you that there is no percentage salary at the state level. The state workers take their salary in 100%. The issue of percentage that surfaced to the state workers was during time of COVID-19. Everybody knew that there was a shortfall in the allocation. And that was what warranted, and it was for 3 months. Just like I have told you, it is in his wisdom again, my former boss, it was in his wisdom, he approached the government. You have to look inwardly, that despite the COVID-19 sit at home, the health workers are on the field working. The tertiary institutions are now closed down. And he begged, he begged, he pleaded with the government to see reason why they should look inwardly, anywhere they could get money to make these people, this set of people 100% salary back to life. And that's what government did. After that 3 months of 80%, it's not 60, it's 80%. So they came back to 100% after 3 months. That's how the institution came back to after 3 months. And the whole MBAs came back to that. So if you talk about percentage of that, it was just 3 months. And the record is there. The government promised to pay. And the immediate past chairman never rests on his oars. He keep on pressurizing, asking, just like I told you, that you are no more confrontation but pleading, no begging to see how that arrears will be paid. And I believe this government will surely pay before they leave. Because recently it was confirmed by them that yes, they were still owing that. They will pay.
Okay.
But as for local government, who are perpetual percentage,
perpetual.
Yes, perpetual. It's perpetual on percentage.
Yeah.
From the government side, it was also revealed that the overbloated workforce there will not enable them to pay full salary. Recently, even at the last this year May Day, it was also captured in our speech. But responding on behalf of the government, from the government side, we all heard them that it was due to overbloated workforce that is still making them, giving them that trouble, and that is why they cannot pay 100% salary at that level.
Let me ask you, congratulations to you and I and the rest of Nigerians. We have a new president. Bola, Ahmed Tinubu is now the president of Nigeria. When he was speaking after the inauguration in Abuja on Monday, and he hinted by making an exclamative statement such as fuel subsidy is gone. It's not even subsidy
is gone.
Is gone, which was emphatic. This president is known for an emphatic statement, such as Emileko, who has come to pass. He usually pronounces, some people call it a factual statement. He has not engaged in process, despite fact he has this in his how do you call it, when he was campaigning.
The manifesto.
It's one of the things he called in his manifestos. Even some other people who were campaigning to be president have it in their manifesto. We had it, Atiku had it, where we must remove subsidy. But when you make that, yes, a lot of things have been said. Misinterpretations, and so on and so forth. While he has not even told the country how he's going to embark on that. We know eventually whatever he said, we are going to have a fallout and benefits to Nigerian workers, to the masses. For instance, any money saved from removal of subsidy can go to rebuild more refineries. Kogi State, for example, is a petroleum endowed state. we are enjoying some allocations. We can have a modular refinery in the state, and there are more opportunity for more employment, more money to go around in different perspectives. But here we are, every time subsidy removal questions comes around, we ask questions, NLC will come and say, no, it's not possible. And the reason I'm saying this, critics are looking at the NLC as a club into a wheel of progress in terms of economic development. Every president that comes, you continue opposing for the first 8 years of last administration. And now immediately this man sound, when he says gone, it's a relative term. He said that. And then NLC, sir, you are in Kogi State today. You are representing NLC. Say something to this effect, because people are just like a problem for every president when it comes to subsidy removal. Look at where the prices are today.
Thank you very much. Like I used to tell you, those who care to listen, organized labor everywhere, including Nigeria, we are not enemy to the government. We are partners in progress. The immediate past administration of Muhammad Buhari, before he came on board, what did he say? He said there's nothing like subsidy. That is a scam. That they use that word to siphon the nation's money. Behold, he came on board. God gave, after much struggle, God gave him that opportunity. And he came on board to be in charge of Nigeria here. For 8 years. In fact, what he paid was more than what they were paid before he came there. But the same man said, subsidy is a scam. You see, coming back to Nigerian Labour Congress position, but the question is this: you don't just remove such thing in a day like that. It's going to cause problem, just like what he pronounced.
Yeah, it's a pronouncement.
It's a pronouncement. Now it has caused problem. In some part of this country today, they buy fuel 700, 600, 500. Somebody confirmed to me yesterday that he was coming from the east and he bought fuel there 500 naira. We got it to Lokoja here. In one of the places they were selling fuel there 235 naira. Where they met me, we were talking. I said that is Nigerian work. In as much as we welcome the removal of fuel subsidy, that must be a plan, a roadmap which include palliative. You don't just come one day and just cut off. No. It must be in phases.
He has not even
announced
the implementation.
Nobody
not even announced the implementation. He just say, now what I've been talking about is all this period I've been campaigning. It's now I'm the president.
Yes.
And it's a gunner. That's what he said. And he has not even had a time, he didn't give him a chance to even sit down and say, this is how it's going to be done, this is what's going to be done, this is done. And do you believe the marketers are doing something crazy here?
That is where he got it wrong. And that is where the Nigerian Labour Congress will be crazy about that. Because it has inflicted pain now on Nigerians, on common Nigerians. People cannot just travel again because of this. There's nothing wrong with President Bola Tinubu to settle down for 1 month, get his plan, his roadmap, get his palliative measure in stages, in batches. Then this thing continue to go gradually. You see, that's why I'm saying that people should not look at the Nigerian Labour Congress as enemy of progress. In this same country, we suffered for Naira crunch. We suffer for scarcity of fuel, but just in a week, a warning was given that workers will go picketing CBN. The same thing to petrol station. Behold, after 3 days, the whole narrative changed. Why can't they say the Nigerian Labour Congress are evil or enemy of progress? That sounding of money alone brought money back to circulation. The same thing naturally, and we were being taxed because we had our Zoom meeting. We're being taxed to monitor the flow of Naira and at the same time the sales of petroleum. We reported back as the thing was coming down and normality has come, the only thing is that there are different prices between the major. There is fuel in circulation. People are getting the fuel. If you sell high, people will not come there. Those who sell low, they will get more patronage. And that was what forced the price to 200 naira. And the major marketer were selling at 185, 189 before the pronouncement of what they said, Bola Tinubu the first time. So that pronouncement is wrong. It's wrong timing. It's not done. It's not. Look at the hardship everywhere. When we are getting fuel everywhere, the highest you see before Monday this week. So it has not planned adequately. That must be a kind of palliative measure in place and should be.
You're talking about the palliative
measure. That is, what do you think? Apart from Dangote refineries, that if we said it will come into operation fully by July. Now, you have not even waited to see to pay subsidy. It's not to sell according to the cost price of their production. So they have not even waited to see what is going to happen there. And there's no any plan for you to, bring back to life some of these refineries.
There is issue of palliative. There will be palliative. So even the people have not filled the forms. Small microfinance banks, you have to bring 5,000 naira, more than 10,000 naira deposit before your name can even leave it. They must take their own as soon as the money comes. But the point I'm trying to make is, sir, there was $800 million requested from one. Nobody said anything. They said that this subsidy will be stopped. Then later the government came around. When they say ha, everybody came around and said no, it's going to be suspended. And let the new administration takes care of it. That the present administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, nobody said anything when the president turned around again and asked if that money is supposed to be. But you said you are not going to, we're going to suspend it and leave for the next administration. But you turn around the same palliative money of $800 million. You're going to try to ask the National Assembly to give it to you again. But none of you, I was expecting the labor, and somebody said, hey, you say you are not going to do that, and what are you going to be getting the money for? Nobody said anything.
But the loan was not approved.
Nobody said anything. Everybody came.
You see, because they've not came out in a plain term what they want to use the money for. They did not come in a plain term, and that's why the loan request was abandoned. It was abandoned. You should tell what I'm telling you. The palliative we are talking about, it may not be in cash form. It could be in any other form. But let Nigerians know that I'm putting this in place to be removing these subsidies in face. Even God will agree with his angels before doing certain things. God will not just stand up and do things. He will call the angels. They will agree before they do things. That's where we are looking at it. I've told you from the beginning that the removal of subsidy is what everybody wants, because those who are enjoying that subsidy are higher people. It's not you and I. People are enjoying, they are making millions of naira profit. And that's why we want it to go. To see when that hotel refinery started producing, that one alone can give us the opportunity to say, okay, with this, since this is not high, subsidy can go. That's to say you have something in replacement of that subsidy. But this one, there's nothing like that. And these marketers, they keep on saying, okay, that's the system. Oh, it's an opportunity for them to sell at a high level. Since they have enough fuel. But these marketers we are talking about, do they have enough, is it tank farm they call it, to store fuel? And when you go there to buy today and sell, as you are going there maybe tomorrow or next week, behold, there will change in the price. The movement and all those things. So that's why you see all these things happening.
Comrade, before I let you go and take care of your business schedule, I can hear your phone ringing. Do you have any government in Kogi State? Not necessarily. You have been, your predecessors have dealt with them. You just got in. You are going to be dealing with them in your own way. probably take some from your predecessor, take some from yourself by your own initiative and your members group working with you in the leadership of Nigerian Labour. What's your plan of dealing with the new government that is coming up in January? By November we will have a election, and from there we know who is going to be the governor of Kogi State in North Central Nigeria by January. So what's your plan?
Just like I said, the one that is coming, we don't know. It's the same way I want to put it. That we are here talking about November. It is only God knows who witnessed November. So we are praying that, and we believe strongly that God will do the best for us. And as for us, we are in the government. If not for sometimes people, you cannot be working under a government and work against that government. It's not possible.
For spending time with us, Comrade Gabriel Amari, Kogi State or Chairman of NLC Kogi State Council. He has been been chatting with me on the Kogi State NLC affairs. I'd like to thank you very much for taking time to have a conversation with me. I've been talking to NLC Chairman Gabriel Amari. We appreciate his coming to Africa to have conversation with us. I'd like you to join us next week as more African events unfold. Abubakar, Sadiq, Ibrahim.